Welcome. Welcome. Today we kind of set a challenge video. So it's how to make fine dining style food with your kitchen leftovers. So these are just random bits that we found in the kitchen. We genuinely did not pre-plan this, but we've now got a bit of a concept that we want to show you with how to compile some fancy food with what's left in your fridge. This is what was all left in our fridge. This is, we shot our book last week, photographed it, and this was all the kind of leftover veg. So we're gonna see, we have set ourselves the challenge of can we cook a fine dining or something similar that we could charge a lot of money for with leftovers from our fridge. Dun dun dun! Okay, so we're gonna break this down. Okay, first step. So what we're gonna do is we have some fine beans, also known as French beans, and we have some mange tout French from Eat It All. These are also known as climbing beans. So we're gonna pickle these. So I'm gonna show you how to pickle. So with fine dining food, typically it's a combination of textures and kind of it's generally 3 or 4 components that make a dish more round and more complex and more just fascinating to eat. And you'll typically have different flavors. Pickling will add that acidic element to it and that kind of bitter, that kind of sharpness to it, which is quite distinct and unique. So pickling is a cool skill. When you're pickling, what you're gonna use is equal part vinegar and equal part water, and that's gonna be the liquids that the solution that the vegetable is going to be pickled in. So I'm chopping my fine beans. I'm going a little bit kind of fancier in the cuts because I want them to look a little bit interesting. So I'm cutting them at an angle so there's a greater surface area. So we've got some fine beans, some sugar snaps. I have 1 clove of garlic. I'm going to chop this kind of roughly, really. We're going to add that to the pickle. Yeah, it's just going to like, in essence, with a pickle, it's, as Dave mentioned, a brine is equal part water, equal part vinegar of choice. So there's many different types of vinegar you can use, and then you can season it in many different ways. I'm going to use garlic as the base. We're going to use salt and black pepper. So we literally just find a jar or any kind of vessel that we're going to pickle in. Literally, we're going to pickle this for 10 minutes. So it's going to have a slight acidic note to it, and it will soften all the vegetable and make them easier to kind of less crunchy and lovely. So I'm just filling in our beans. So in on top of that, we're going with a nice generous pinch of salt. Equal part vinegar. I literally found rice vinegar in the press, and I'm going to add this in. Equal part. You could use malt vinegar, whatever you have. So gone half with vinegar. Cover, lid on if you have it. Give it a bit of a shake just to spread it around and leave it sit. Leave it sit for 10 minutes. Okay, we found a cauliflower, or this is a fancy type of cauliflower called a Romanesco. We took photos of it last week, and literally I'm going to make a cauliflower rice. So we're going to take our cauliflower or Romanesco. We're going to chop out the core because that won't blend that well. And we're just going to rip it apart so that it'll go. And I'm literally going to pop in the food processor until it becomes almost like rice-like. So while Dave's dicing that, I've got 1 onion. I'm just going to show you how to dice it. I'm going to dice this. This is going to be kind of the base flavor of our rice. It's just going to impart more flavor. Okay, so when I'm dicing an onion, I'll leave the base on, still intact. So I'll just show you the texture of the cauliflower rice, if you can see it here. So it's literally become rice, like it's like a green rice. It looks super cool. Next step, we're going to slice into the side of our onion. I'm going to come in from the side like this. And then I'm just... So I just got a pan on a high heat, and I'm literally going to add about a tablespoon or a tablespoon and a half of oil into the pan. Okay, so we've got all our onion, in it goes. Oh, lovely. Just going to add a nice caramelized note to our rice. Okay, so we fried our onion off until it started to golden and go brown. So time to add our blended cauliflower, or Romanesco in the case of this is. So this is going to form almost like the grain of the dish. They will be gluten-free. It's going to be green rice, very interesting. Nice generous pinch of salt. And we have cauli onion rice, green cauli onion rice. Just give it a taste just to check is there enough salt, has it been seasoned correctly. That's lovely, isn't it? Geez, the onion adds a lovely note to it. I definitely like to cook it until it kind of starts to brown a little bit. But the thing here is just to be careful not to overcook it, because Romanesco, when it's overcooked, loses that lovely green colour, which is what we want. Okay, so we fried it down for about 4 to 5 minutes, just ensuring that we've still kept the green colour of the Romanesco. Okay, so literally just to plate up the rice, the cauliflower rice, I've literally got a small vessel I found here. This is going to function as the mould, because often with fine dining restaurant, it's all about making things very presentable and very kind of... look aesthetically beautiful. Okay, so I got 1 block of firm tofu. No need to really press it. I'm just trying to, you know, generally when people press it, they're trying to remove moisture. So what I'm going to chop it in is to 4 large steaks.
I've literally rinsed off the same pan and I've got it on a high heat again here. I'm going to pop in a tablespoon or 2 tablespoons of oil.
We're going to chop them into wedges.
Ooh.
I'm going to just fry some ginger just to impart another little note of flavour, and I'm going to chop them into nice matchsticks. Just so when you do get them in your mouth, it'll be nice, it'll be quite a texture in it. So in goes our ginger.
Then I'm going to add in our tofu as well.
With our tofu, what's really important is that it all hits the bottom of the pan. So when we're frying like this, the heat source is all the base. Okay, so we fried our ginger for about 3 to 4 minutes and it's starting to go crispy. So I'm going to take that out.
They're like crispy onions. It looks really, really good.
So this is going to be a garnish. It's going to add a nice texture of crispy, crunchy, kind of fry loveliness.
So we've literally left our tofu cook on the same side for about 3 minutes. Time to turn it.
So with tofu, the thing is about being patient, not turning it, not being premature. Just give it the time it takes to get a lovely crispy bottom. Okay, so we fried it down. Do you want to show the other side, just to show you?
Yeah,
how
so
nice
it has actually browned on both sides.
So it's kind of sealed or seared. So right now we're going to start imbuing with flavour. So it's got a lovely crispy base. So I'm going to take some tamari or soy sauce, whichever you have. This is adding a nice umami note. So you want to be quick here. Because what's happening here is the oil is reacting with the water and it's creating the steam. You want to move quick and just really spread it around.
Okay, boom, we can get them off the heat.
We can get them on the plate. Okay, next step. So we're doing 4 components in the dish. We have the pickle, we have the tofu, we have the green Romanesco base. Next step, we're going to make a nice little, swoosh.
What do you call that? A little drizzle. We're going to make a real nice drizzle. Just
okay, so we've got some peas. They were in our freezer. We have some boiling water to defrost them.
Okay, so now to make the drizzle, we're using the food processor again. I've just simply...
Or swish.
Switch. Okay, so peas have thawed. We literally...
We're going to start with a handful. So the peas are going to deliver colour, they're going to deliver texture, and they're going to deliver body. We don't want too much. So in most swooshes, they're typically oil-based. So typically oil is going to be the main carrier. Pea and mint are normally a favourite combination, but...
We found basil. We found basil in the fridge.
Yeah, basil. We make literally a ton of pesto a week, and we're delighted to say that the basil is Irish at the moment. So we felt we had to use it.
Yeah.
So basil and pea, new combination.
Often we find that new combinations typically come when you're forced to try different things. Like in the context of now where we're literally just using what there is in the fridge. The boundaries, we're forced, there's much limitations. And that kind of goes within nature. The areas where there's the most amount of growth is where the river meets the forest or whatever. Boundaries and edges. And I think in this context, where pea and mint is typically normal, we're forced to use basil, so we're going to adapt, and it could end up being world class.
It will.
Yes.
So basis, okay, so in terms of seasoning, we're going to go with a generous pinch of salt. I'm going to use rapeseed, and then we're going to use a little bit of acid. So in terms of acid, I could use lemon, I could use vinegar, a simple little kind of cheat, and very good suggestion there is just use a little bit of pickle water. I'm going to go with just a teaspoon of that. It's going to be infused with garlic. It's just going to add another dimension to it. So just as we're getting ready to plate up, I'm going to get some chili. We're going to take some pickle out now. And take some scallions. Scallions, we call them scallions. You might know them as spring onion. Again, similarly, I'm going to chop them at an angle.
A question for you. So fine dining and vegan food don't always go hand in hand. Let us know where is the best fine dining vegan meal you have had wherever in the world, because we are compiling a list and we are definitely want to get involved in finer dining vegan food.
So time to take out our pickle just to try them. So these are going to be little imparters of flavour, acidity, a kind of sense of je ne sais quoi.
Wow, they're already pickled. Like it already tastes acidic and vinegar, like it's brilliant.
That's lovely, isn't it?
Nice crunch as well, cool.
Yeah. Okay, time to bring our dish together. So we're going to take our basil and pea. I'm going to pop it down. I'm going to make a little swish. Just literally get the back of the spoon and we're just going to own it. Go to a nice little swish. In on top of that now, I'm going to put some chili on the top. You ready? So I've got some scallion. Got some chili on top here. I've got a few pickled little bits. These are going to add a little bit of kind of sense. People think they're eating scallion. It's just going to be a few little pickled bits that are just going to add a little bit of
pop of flavour. And finally, I think just to garnish it, we've got some of our fried off ginger, and it's just going to give a nice kind of other little note to it. A few little bits there.
Okay, here we are, the moment of truth. So fine dining, it'd be inappropriate just to use a spoon.
I would pay at least $50 for this.
Okay, so just to recap what you have. We've romesco rice with a little bit of fried onion. We have simple tofu with tamari, very easy. We have a nice basil and pea swoosh.
We have some pickled fine beans and sugar snap peas. We've got some chili and some fried ginger on top. Okay, here we go. Wow. Jeez, we're not eating this like fine dining people, are we?
The bit that I love about this type of eating is just the complexity. Like my mouth is hopping with ginger, smacking with fresh chili. There's a lovely soothingness of the pea and mint. And then there's a lovely crispiness, there's a crunchiness, there's fabulous, super elegant.
It's pretty much all singing and all dancing. So yeah.
It just makes me want to have more. Thank you for watching. Do try this. This was a nice way of just showing you how to make more fine dining, impressive food with simple leftovers in your fridge.
As I said, let us know where is the best fine dining vegan food you have ever eaten. What is the best restaurant? Because we genuinely love to check them out, and hopefully one day we could go visit. And if you do take any fine dining vegan foods, tag us on Instagram. Let us know. We'd love to see it.
Thanks for watching.
Cheers.